A recent study has revealed a concerning trend in secondary schools, shedding light on a practice that has sparked controversy and raised important questions about education and student well-being. 1 in 12 students is placed in isolation rooms at least once a week, often missing an entire day's worth of lessons. The research, conducted by the University of Manchester, paints a worrying picture of the use of isolation as a disciplinary measure. Students with special educational needs, those from low-income backgrounds, and members of the LGBTQ+ community are disproportionately affected. These vulnerable groups are more likely to be isolated, spending excessive time away from their peers and missing out on valuable learning opportunities. But here's where it gets controversial. Isolation booths, a specific type of isolation, have become a growing concern for parents. They argue that this punitive system harms their children's education and mental health. While isolation is intended for disruptive behavior, parents claim that minor rule breaches, which can be challenging for students with complex needs, can lead to isolation. And this is the part most people miss. There are no national guidelines on the use of isolation, leaving schools to decide its implementation and duration. The Manchester study, published in the British Educational Research Journal, is a wake-up call. It reveals that internal exclusion is more prevalent and harmful than previously thought. By analyzing data from the #BeWell program, which surveyed over 34,000 pupils, researchers found that 8.3% of students experienced weekly isolation, with an average of 8.5 hours spent in isolation each week. Students in isolation reported feeling disconnected, having strained relationships with teachers, and experiencing poorer mental well-being. Emma Thornton, the lead author of the report, emphasizes the hidden nature of internal exclusion, stating, "It is happening every day, yet it remains largely unseen." While isolation can provide a temporary solution for teachers, the findings highlight its disproportionate use and negative impact on vulnerable students. The High Court's decision to uphold the use of isolation booths in England has dashed the hopes of campaigners, leaving many to question the long-term effects on students' education and mental health. So, what's the solution? Experts call for investment in positive behavior support, restorative approaches, and improved mental health provisions. Kieran Gill, from The Difference, an education charity, emphasizes the need for research and knowledge sharing on effective internal spaces that support students and facilitate their return to the classroom. Ellie Costello, from Not Fine in School, advocates for mandatory reporting of isolation use, similar to suspensions and exclusions, to ensure transparency and accountability. As we delve into this complex issue, it's important to consider the perspectives of all stakeholders. What are your thoughts on the use of isolation in schools? Do you believe it's an effective disciplinary measure, or does it cause more harm than good? Feel free to share your opinions and experiences in the comments below. Let's spark a conversation and work towards finding solutions that prioritize student well-being and inclusive education.